Donald Trump is getting hit hard by a source who he did not expect. Donald Trump did not see this coming. Fox News owner Rupert Murdoch, who also owns the Wall Street Journal, is having the Wall Street Journal publish the following op-ed that goes after Donald Trump for Trump's attack on the media. The full editorial board of the Wall Street Journal just penned the following op-ed. Trump's lawfare against the free press. He suggests prosecuting CNN while pressuring a settlement out of CBS. Seems that state regime media recognizes that if it does not remain state regime media, it is next. It is next in Donald Trump's shakedown routine. I think it's also important to note, and I've been studying the Fox social media, they've published very little on the disastrous budget bill. They focused on a ton of other stories. But when they did publish a story on the disastrous budget bill, or post an interview with MAGA Mike Johnson like this one, the comments were just devastating to Fox and to the MAGA Republicans. Like, here's like one of the only posts I saw on their Instagram where they covered the disastrous budget bill. And it's comments like this that they got. It was an interview from MAGA Mike Johnson, who says the big beautiful bill is at the 1 yard line. And then people responded, how is adding $4 trillion to the national debt conservative? Another person said that I've been with Trump through thick and thin. This doesn't seem fair to me at all. Someone goes, stop trying to make it sound like you're for the people. I don't see how any MAGA person can support this. Adding 3.5 trillion. It's 5 trillion that's being added. Let me be clear. Adding 3.5 trillion to the national deficit is not savings. Yes, we hate our constituents, but love our donors. The Republican Party has no morals. Speaker Johnson, sickening. I don't know how you look in the mirror, little Johnson. Fumble, vote no, piece of S. And they said, let them eat cake right there. Let's take a look at this op-ed from the Wall Street Journal on Trump attacking the free press. President Trump has taunted the media for years, and some of his jibes are deserved given a groupthink in most newsrooms. Like they start off trying to be favorable to the Trump regime. What's happening now, though, is different. The president is using government to intimidate news outlets that publish stories he doesn't like. It's a low move in a free country with a free press. On Tuesday, Mr. Trump and Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem suggested CNN might be prosecuted for publishing a report about an app called IceBlock, which lets users flag locations where they've spotted operations by immigration and custom enforcement agents. Ms. Noem was asked if CNN could be in legal jeopardy for having pushed the app. We're working with the Department of Defense and we're working with the Department of Justice, to see if we can prosecute them for that, because what they're doing is actively encouraging people to avoid law enforcement activity operations, Ms. Noem said. What they're doing, we believe, is illegal. Mr. Trump indicated this is fine by him, and they may be prosecuted also for having given false reports on the attack in Iran, he said, insisting again that its nuclear sites were obliterated. CNN had reported otherwise, citing an analysis by the Defense Intelligence Agency, or DIA, so they may very well be prosecuted for that, Mr. Trump added. What they did there, we think, is totally illegal. What's wrong is thinking this is illegal. Traffic apps such as Waze and Google Maps sometimes warn drivers that other users have flagged police activity or speed traps ahead on public roads. IceBlock isn't operated by CNN, which merely ran a story on its existence. The DIA's early assessment of the Iran strikes was hyped, given its analytical limitations and low confidence. But accurately reporting the contents of government documents isn't illegal. It's journalism protected by the First Amendment. Whoever gave CNN the DIA's conclusion might face repercussions, though finding government leakers isn't easy. Is Mr. Trump prepared to start, notice they call him Mr. Trump versus President Trump as well. Is Mr. Trump prepared to start jailing journalists until they reveal confidential sources? Maybe. If they want to, they can find out easily. You go up and tell the reporter national security who gave it, Mr. Trump told Fox News, and I suspect we'll be doing things like that. Separately, Paramount says it's agreed to pay $16 million to settle Trump's meritless lawsuit accusing CBS of distorting a campaign interview last year with Kamala Harris. Face the Nation and 60 Minutes aired different halves of Ms. Harris's reply to a question, but the full tape proved that CBS didn't put words in her mouth. Yet Trump sued, claiming $20 billion in damages. His real leverage is that Paramount requires federal approval for its $8 billion merger with Skydance Media. Apparently, Paramount executives decided that paying 8 figures to Mr. Trump was better than risking the deal. The $16 million minus Mr. Trump's legal cost will go towards his presidential library. The settlement does not include a statement of apology or regret, Paramount said. Not to Mr. Trump, at least, which is nice, but CBS viewers and journalists might like an apology for this sellout. Wall Street Journal calling CBS for selling out. The company also agreed that 60 Minutes will now routinely release transcripts of future interviews with presidential candidates. This can be good journalistic practice, but the president has no business dictating CBS's editorial policies. Democrats are raring to investigate. Paramount just paid Trump a bribe for merger approval, Senator Ron Wyden wrote on social media. When Democrats retake power, I'll be the first in line calling for federal charges. In the meantime, state prosecutors should make the corporate execs who sold out our democracy answer in court. If the result is 2 grim years of partisan trench warfare on whether this technically counts as bribery, thank you, Mr. Trump. And for what? Another chance for Mr. Trump to bluster about fake news. The price for the country is another worrying precedent as the political culture spirals downward into lawfare. But y'all supported this guy. Murdoch, y'all supported this guy. Hey everybody, Ben Meiselas here from the MeidasTouch Network. I wanted to let you know about my podcast partner, Michael Popak's new law firm. It's called the Popak Firm. Michael Popak's pursuing his dream of starting his own law firm, really based on the popular demand by all the Meidas Mighty and legal AFers who are approaching Michael Popak with their cases and saying, can you help us? And at that time, Popak was not able to. So he went out on his own. He started the Popak Firm, where he is now handling catastrophic injury cases like car accident cases, trucking cases, malpractice cases, big negligence cases, wrongful death cases. So if you or someone you know have a case like this, the consultation with Popak's firm is free. Give him a call. See if you have a case. It's thepopakfirm.com, thepopakfirm.com, or you can call 877-POPOK-AF, P-O-P-O-K-A-F. So 1-877-POPOK-AF. Give Michael Popak a call. And I'm really proud of you, Popak. Thanks for all the hard work you're putting in. Now, let me bring out some data points as well. Here is the Pentagon's press secretary confirming that Iran would be able to have nuclear weapons in a year to 2 years, just so you can hear it for yourself. Let's play this clip right here.
You know, our assessment of the battle damage around Fordow, Nantes, and Isfahan remains unchanged. I mean, we believe, and certainly all of the intelligence that we've seen have led us to believe that those facilities especially have been completely obliterated. And the interesting kind of side point about this, Tara, is that all of the conversations that we've had since Operation Midnight Hammer with our allies all around the world, but certainly also in the region, you know, they say a couple of things. They share our sentiments about, you know, the degradation of Iran's nuclear program and the fact that we have degraded their program by 1 to 2 years. At least intel assessments inside the department assess that, and I think their intelligence shares that conclusion.
Assessments by this department think it's been degraded or delayed by 1 to 2 years?
I think we're thinking probably closer to 2 years, like degraded their program by 2 years.
Okay. Here is Kristi Noem talking about arresting going after CNN and arresting journalists, so you can hear it for yourself. Let's play that clip right here.
Remember that many of these law enforcement officers live in these communities. Their children go to those schools. They go to church there. These are their neighbors they're trying to protect. And to have someone like CNN openly describing how to use technology to reveal the activities and the operations that these law enforcement folks are trying to conduct, it's shameful and it could be prosecutable. So I'm glad that Pam is looking into it.
Now, I think one of the things we've seen on Fox as well, and whether this is being directed by Murdoch. Look, Trump is crashing the economy. He's causing serious damage to the economy. And you may go, well, Ben, saying crash is hyperbolic. The markets are up now. Well, the markets go up and down. And to have it back to basically even is not exactly something that should be applauded. But core inflation is rising. The dollar's at its worst start since 1973. And if you look at jobs, we are losing jobs. Every month, if you look from January to now, jobs are being lost. And the past month in June, the jobs report was actually talked about on Fox. There were supposed to be 100,000 jobs created, but there was 30,000 jobs that were lost. Watch what went down. Let's play this clip.
Trump would like to sign this right before the July 4th holiday to celebrate freedom and independence. John, we are 30 minutes away from the opening bell for a Wednesday in a holiday shortened week. Your thoughts?
Well, our big surprise today had to be that ADP report on private sector employment. That was down by 33,000 jobs. The labor market is softening. It's flattening out. And that tells me that companies can go ahead and increase prices in response to higher tariffs. But I don't think that consumers are going to respond positively. They'll pull back on spending. So any increase by inflation because of tariffs will be quite limited. Ultimately, tariffs may do more to increase federal revenues, reduce the federal deficit than to add to price inflation. And of course, all this adds up to lower than expected interest rates by the end of this year.
Yeah, great point. Markets have turned negative now 30 minutes before the open on the heels of that weaker than expected June ADP report. That's why President Trump keeps talking about growth, Ashley. John, you just mentioned, people will have to raise prices. Not in Mamdani's New York, Ashley. No. Not if the government is running the grocery store.
Now, here is Maria Bartiromo again with a MAGA Republican senator talking about how they were about to applaud the job growth, but then they found out that we lost 33,000 jobs. That's very bad. And that may get revised downward even more. Here, play this clip.
Of course, President Trump is talking about this bill leading to growth in the economy. We are waiting any moment now to get the jobs numbers for the month of May. The expectations call for the ADP numbers to be up 95,000 for the month of June, rather. It's the June jobs data, and we'll, of course, right now seeing the number actually show a decline in jobs, down 33,000 on ADP. The bill includes $25 billion for the Golden Dome, the missile defense system. Senator, you introduced a bill supporting the construction of that system.
And by the way, here's very far right-wing propagandist Brian Kilmeade. He's speaking with Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent here. And here's Bessent's response of, at least Kilmeade asked him the right question, like, dude, what's going on with these rare earth minerals? China's not releasing these rare earth minerals, and that's significantly harming, our country's ability to manufacture things. Here, watch what he says. Let's play it.
True or false? The Chinese still are not giving us the rare earth we're paying for.
We are hoping that they will flow at a faster rate. Rare earth magnets are flowing. They are not flowing as they did before April 4th, but we are confident that the Chinese will live up to their side of the deal.
And finally, it is a sellout by CBS for settling with Donald Trump for $16 million. I don't care that they say they're not offering an apology. They're giving him $16 million. What are you giving him $16 million for? It was the most frivolous lawsuit, in my opinion, that I had really ever seen. That 60 Minutes aired one version of the interview that was the same version of the interview that Face the Nation added. That was that was edited a slight amount. There was no material change. Some ums and ahs were taken out to make the thing go quicker. The full video was out. There wasn't like they were hiding anything. And Trump was too scared to show up for that interview with 60 Minutes. Trump got invited to be on 60 Minutes and he would not do the interview. Former Vice President Kamala Harris did the interview. So Trump sits back, whines about an interview that he doesn't do, sues CBS, gets them to pay $16 million. I don't know how you can be, I don't know what the journalists at CBS are doing right now. I'm sure there are good journalists that still work there, smart people who still work there. I don't know how you're able to do your job in that environment. I don't know how you're able to do that job. We saw the 60 Minutes executive producer resign, right? We saw the president of CBS News resign. But there you have it. That's what Murdoch's saying. Anyway, hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers. Thanks for watching.
The truth is more important than ever. Check out our new Truth Over Lies collection at store.MeidasTouch.com. All 100% USA union made.